I immediately write the producer of the show. And I said, Greg, brother, I apologize. That was not planned. It was my Italian temper. This guy was just pushing the wrong buttons. I am so sorry. Bro, he writes me back immediately. Vince, are you kidding me? Piers loves you, Vince.
Of course. Vince Russo wanting to get to the following topic of the night, which is about Vince Russo and Phil Mushnick. Of course, we know from the Vince for the Vince McMahon documentary, very slow build, bicep flex right there. Vince Russo is definitely flexing with the. It's funny, man. The pro wrestling community is very fickle, for in one breath, they'll be like, Vince Russo is like the devil of pro wrestling. He's Satan incarnate. And then when Phil Mushnick comes in and tries to talk against the pro wrestling business, and Vince Russo cooked Phil Mushnick, now the fans are like, Vince Russo's the man. Yes. So
I was the man until Jey Uso lost the title on Monday. And I'm like,
now it's back to, I knew he was Satan.
You think you know all the wrestling stories? There's more you haven't heard yet. Join us on Backstage Pass.
Vince, what say you about all this Mushnick stuff that's on the Piers Morgan Show? No yeet.
You know what I really think sucks, Chris. Here's what I really think sucks. The show was supposed to be about the Netflix documentary. Yeah. Why are we talking about 35 years ago? That's the part that's not what the show was supposed to be about. And
didn't Mushnick say that he wrote based on hearsay?
He what?
Like he wrote like his content based on hearsay?
He reported on something he never went to and made stuff up about it. That's a fact. I was there. I recorded it. That's a fact. But I just feel bad for the producers at Piers Morgan because that's not what the show was supposed to be about.
EC3?
I didn't see it. I forgot because we were doing the podcast today. You were going to be on. He left. Yeah, the day we were doing the podcast, you're going on Piers. I was pumped for you. I did not watch it. I know Phil always had a, dare I say, hard on to come after mostly Vince, but I think it was the WWE and wrestling as a whole. But I'm glad that you were an iconic hero for, I believe, 6 days, 5 days, 4 days?
You want to hear a funny story, Chris? Because I just did Castrating the Marks, and there was a Meltzer clip with Alvarez about the Phil Mushnick performance. Okay, bro, I wish I had my phone here. I just left my phone upstairs because I would show you. Anyway, Meltzer's on there with Alvarez. Oh, this was horrible. This was horrible. You could tell, man, Piers Morgan was trying to settle things down, and you could tell, he was embarrassed, and this was horrible. This was horrible. Chris, immediately, you guys know this. We've all lived this. When you do something and then it's over and you have that period of, what did I just do?
Yeah.
We've all had that, right? Yeah. So, Chris, Mushnick pushes my buttons. I go off on this poor old man on television, right? So the show's over. So I had the 3 seconds of, what did you just do? So, Chris, this is where Meltzer is. When I have been saying for years, when it comes to television, Dave Meltzer does not have a clue. He knows nothing about the television industry, television executives, what sells, what they want. He doesn't have a clue. He thinks he does. He don't have a clue. So, Chris, I immediately write the producer of the show. And I said, Greg, brother, I apologize. That was not planned. It was my Italian temper. This guy was just pushing the wrong buttons. I am so sorry. Bro, he writes me back immediately. Vince, are you kidding me? Piers loves you, Vince.
Of course.
Piers loves you. Vince, Piers says the ratings for that. Now remember, Chris, ratings don't matter anymore. They mean Piers says the ratings for that show is going to go through the roof. But Chris, ratings mean they don't mean nothing anymore, bro.
Vince, I watched it, and Pierce was just letting y'all cook.
Look at the way he set it up. He had all of us bury the guy, and then
but wait a minute, okay.
Are you? And Meltzer didn't even see that. Are you that naive, bro?
It's coming from a pro wrestling bubble mind, man. You know what I mean? Like, I saw that and I'm like, oh, okay. So the hot tag to Phil Mushnick toward the end from Piers Morgan, you know, and I thought it was pretty funny. The drive by that he did, and I think it was really cool. And I'm sure he wasn't planning it to get that hot, but I do think he wanted it to get, you know, pretty sizzly, because I mean that just creates more buzz for the Piers Morgan show.
Bro, you know what the producer Greg told me before the show? You guys will appreciate this. His exact words: we like to think of ourselves as the WWE of talk shows. And Meltzer's going to sit there and say, oh, Piers was really embarrassed, bro. This guy's clueless, bro.
If he was embarrassed, he wouldn't have done the run-in in the first place.
Chris, do you think I would have carried on like that if I didn't know that that's what Piers, if that's what Piers did not want, you think I would have disrespected his show? I knew exactly what he wanted.
Vince, I'm a frequent, admittedly, I'm a frequent watcher of the Piers Morgan show on YouTube, and he is very adamant of cutting. A lot of people, he gets a lot of flack for cutting people off too prematurely. I think that he's just a hard journalist, hard-nosed journalist. I don't really mind it, but a lot of people who are sensitive, they do give him flack for cutting people off prematurely. So if he had an issue, Vince, he would have absolutely cut y'all off with no issue. He's a tough dude.
I swear, earlier tonight, bro, like I was watching a Megyn Kelly's show on Sirius. Bro, Megyn Kelly's dropping F-bombs.
Oh, is she really?
Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly. I'm like, oh my God. And
the super delicate Megyn Kelly.
Yes, bro, she's dropping F-bombs on the show. I'm like, oh my God, bro.
Let's just let it all hang out, man. God, yeah, that's interesting.
Bro, if it's on TV, EC3 knows this better than anybody. If it's on your television, bro, it's a show.
It's a show.
It's a show, bro.
Yeah. You can't tell that to pro wrestling fans, man. It's this bubble. We talk about this all the time, man. It's a circus. If someone from outside the circus saying, "Hey, we're going to overhaul this circus structure because we want this circus to be on television, so we're going to make some changes," everybody who's in the tent every week is like, "No, you're not going to make any changes. You're not. No way. Or there's no way you're going to change us. We come here every Friday night." You know what I mean? So they're going to get pretty upset that the people and the producers coming in, oh, we're going to change some structures, change the model, but the people outside of the tent don't know what's going on. So you got to fill us in. You got to fill us in what's going on. But the people who's in there, they're like, you better not change anything. I bring my son every single Friday. I dare you.